Hello, and welcome to Magic Breath Sharings. Please, if you're here, just let me know if you hear me well. Say hello in the chat room, and maybe you can share also where are you from. So let me first shortly introduce myself. My name is Tjaša, and I come from a beautiful country, Slovenia. This is a small country in the heart of Europe. And one of my roles that I'm playing right now in my life is also being an doula. And what is this? What is the meaning of a doula? A doula means that I'm a connector, that I'm helping the future parents to establish a connection between them and the baby who is coming. So this is my role. And this is something what I'm so passionate about. And today I will share my story about my experience and how did I become an doula. Everything happened more than 10 years ago when I already had 2 little boys. And my husband asked me if we would have another kid. And at that moment, I really wasn't ready. I wanted to be 100% present for the 2 little boys. So it was no option for me at that time. But some years later, I found a dream walk birth school where I was reading about totally new way of conception, pregnancy, labor, and everything. And I became so passionate about these informations that I was receiving that I said, okay, I would like to have another baby, but just the way it is described in this dream of birth school. Because now, while I was having these informations, I couldn't go into the pregnancy in the old way. And I asked my husband if he's willing to cooperate, and he said yes. And so the journey, this amazing, magical journey began. But before doing a connection, we went through very, very deep questionnaires about why do we choose to have another baby at all? Something what is so obvious. But imagine, when you are buying a new car, how many choices about just a new car do you make? And when you're making choices to have a baby, you just say, okay, I want to have a baby. And even in that case, it might be that the choice is not coming really deep within you. Maybe this is the wish from your parents that they want to have grandparents, or because you are in a certain age of old and you know that you would like to have a kid, or all of your friends already have kids, and so on. And with these questionnaires, you go very, very deep within you to find out where is this wish coming from, and so much more. And many other parents with whom I was cooperating and teaching them this school, they were at the end so satisfied that they took their time and to go really deep into these questionnaires. So after that, we began with the connection. And I wasn't pregnant at this time, so everything started before the conception. And it was indeed like, preparing to a party. that your now is coming, and you start to write invitations, who will you invite, what you will eat, and everything, and so on. And here is the same. You know that the baby is coming, and you are preparing to him to come. And at the very early moment, I already started to feel and to hear my daughter. And she was telling me all the time, I'm Isa, I'm Isa. So I knew she was a girl, and she has chosen the name by herself. Because in this school of birth, the child chooses the name by himself, by herself. So it is not like the old way when you open the book, oh, which name do I like the most? No, here you're invited to hear, to feel the name of your child by your own. And you can do that. All of the parents that I was working with in these several years, everybody felt the name of the child. And I was feeling her every day in each connection, but my husband, he didn't. And he said, oh, you're talking to her every day and I don't feel anything. But then a few days later, when we started to make a connection with her, she came to me and she said, okay, today I will show up to the father as well. Okay, said, okay, let's see what will happen. And later on, my husband, he said, oh, you know what? Today it was something different. I felt something different. I don't know what, but it was not the way I used to feel. And I said, of course it was. Isa told me that that you will feel also her. So this is the first time that she showed up also to himself. And you know, all this process, making a connection with your baby, it's not just the connection with the baby. You need to establish the connection with yourself as well. And you need a lot of trust with this work, that the informations that you are receiving from the soul of your child are real. Because, you know, the mind is chatty all the time. She will say, oh no, you're just making up. You can't talk to the soul of the child. She's not coming. She's not even here. You're just making up. But, you know, a lot of times then you get the confirmations that the informations that you received, that they were real. Like, for example, I was in about 7 months of pregnancy when I went to the gynecologist, and she said, oh, you know what? Now your baby, she turned around. She's now with her legs down, not and the head up. If she will not turn around in about 1 month, we need to make this manually. And at that very moment, when she said that to me, I felt, Isa told me, don't worry, Mom, I will turn around by myself. And it was such a clear message that I was completely in peace with that at that very moment. And I told to the gynecologist at the same time, I said, okay, oh, no, don't worry. She will turn around by herself. She said, okay, we'll see. And then a couple of weeks later, when I was making a connection with Isa, I asked her, oh, Isa, when you will turn around, because we are having an appointment with gynecologist a few days later. She said, I already did. And then a few days later, when we went to the gynecologist, she said, oh, your baby, she turned around. She's now with her head down. I said, yes, I know. So, you know, imagine that you can be in all of your pregnancy and before conception, living in deep trust and peace that everything is okay, that your baby is fine, because you will feel it and you will receive the informations, like in that case that I did. So this is a totally new concept of pregnancy, of labor, and everything, because you feel it all the time. And after the connection was very strong. I was feeling my daughter even during the day. She came while I was cooking and something, and her presence was so obvious, like somebody was standing here, you know. And these moments were so special. They're still so deep within me. And my daughter, she's now 8. She knows the story. When she was a little bit older, I was starting to tell her the story. And for her, it is totally normal that I make a connection and my husband with her when she was still in my belly. And before she went to school, she had an appointment with psychologist, and she asked her, "Oh, where did you get this name, Isa? Who gave it to you?" And she said, "I have chosen it by myself." Oh, and the psychologist said, how come? Oh, my mother was talking to me while I was in my belly, and I told her that I want to be Isa. I wasn't there. I don't know what psychologists wrote down in her papers, but I don't care, because for her, this connection is real. And she's asking me a lot of time, "Oh, what else did I tell you? Please tell me this story." And someday she even told me, she said, "Okay, I will be coming in 6 weeks." So I knew I will have the labor in the time of 6 weeks. And she told me that she will come during the night when everything will be in peace. And that in the morning, when 2 little brothers will wake up, they will meet her in the living room. Because this was also one of the choices that I made. That first choice was that I want to do the labor in the water. And then after that, I felt that I choose to have a labor at home. And at that very moment, when I felt that I wanted to have a labor at home, I felt 100% of trust that everything will be completely safe for me and for Isa as well. And it was such a trust, such an information that I still remember when I received it. How did I feel everything? Because I knew that I will be receiving a lot of fears from the outside, from my parents and friends. "Oh, at home it's not safe for you." But I really didn't care, because I was so sure, so 100% sure that we will be both perfect. Like, that today it will be dark in the evening. Nobody could make me to change my mind. And it was a week before labor. I was starting to feel some pain in my belly, and I just made the connection with her, and I said, "Okay, Isa, what is this? It's still early." She said, No, just go to sleep. I'm not coming yet. Everything is okay." And I just went to sleep without worry. I knew she told me she's not coming yet. Okay, I can go to sleep in peace. And some days later, when this was the time when she's already told me that she was coming, I again felt some pain in my belly, and I started to make a connection with her. And she said, "This is the very intensive preparation for my coming." So I knew she was coming, and I called the person who was with me by the labor, a woman. She came from Italy. And I went downstairs and I told to my husband, "Isa is coming tonight." She told me. He said, "Oh, already?" And he put a fire in the fireplace. I put some candles in the living room. We turned off all the lights, because I wanted her to come just in the shadow and just in the light of the fireplace and candles. I put some dolphin music on. It was really like a preparation for a very romantic evening. And I already have chosen to have a labor without pain. This is something I said, it is possible. I want to experience that. Of course, I was doing a lot of preparation for the labor with conscious breathing, and I was doing a lot of breathing during the labor as well. And really, it wasn't painful at all. I said I could do that all night long, but it was a very short labor. And she really came in ease and grace. We had here in front of the fireplace a small swimming pool, like this one for the kids, you know. So she really came out in the water. And when she came out from my belly, she didn't cry. She just was looking into my eyes. I can still see that look, eyes wide open, and just looking at me, you know, it was like really like seeing soul to soul communication, eyes wide open, in total peace. And the woman who was there, she said she never saw something like that, you know. And for me, this labor at home, I said, this is like 5 stars hotel for doing labor for me. And as she said, just a few hours later, as she was born, 2 boys they came down to the living room and they saw, oh, we have a sister, we have a sister. And everything was so perfect. And I was in this knowingness all the time of my pregnancy, because she was giving me this kind of informations, and I could really enjoy this pregnancy totally. You know, imagine living your life in 100% trust, no matter what. Now it doesn't matter if you're pregnant or if you are not, but in general, that you really trust your soul, yourself, your whatever you want to call it, that everything is fine, that everything will be taken care of. And even not just during the pregnancy, but also after she was born, we still continued to communicate. So also the period after she was born was much more easier for me, because I knew what she would like to have. And this is also one of the positive things of this birth school in general. For example, that these kids are crying much, much less, and they are much, much healthier, and the labor is easier, and so on. And in my experience, it was that I experienced everything, all the benefits that are in this Dreambox School of Birth. And when she was about 6 weeks old, we went to the seaside. It was in June, and the water was still very, very cold. So I didn't want to put her into the sea. But one day she said, Mom, I want to go into the sea. I said, okay. I trusted her voice, because if I would just listening to my mind, I would never put the almost newborn baby in this cold water. And I still remember lively when we went easily, gently into the water, and I was just watching her. If she will cry, react. No, when she went deep into the water, she just started like swimming and smiling. She was so satisfied, you know, but she gave me that information. I trusted her voice and my voice as well. I didn't doubt. And so you see, you had several information also after the birth, and a lot. We were at that time we were in the tent all the time, and you know a lot of people were around, and they were asking me, you know, you have newborn child, but she's not crying at all. How come? And I was just smiling, you know, because this was normal for me, that this kid won't cry, because the connection between us was so strong. And you know, since I was a little bit older already for the third pregnancy, a lot of people who knew me, they were asking, oh, Tjasa, was it this by accident that you conceived or not? And I was just smiling and thinking to myself, oh, if you knew how everything was made by choice in what I did. But in that time, of course, I wasn't ready to share this with a lot of people. About 2 years later, I had one friend, she was a journalist, and she was telling me all the time, Tjasa, you did not that just for yourself. You need to share this among other people. But this story was so intimate, for me, that at that time I wasn't ready yet. But okay, then after 2 years, I was ready, and I made an interview with her in one of Slovenian magazines. And then I started to work with the couples as well. So I have been working with several different couples in all these years. And all the couples, they made a connection successfully. And they had different experience, of course. But if you choose to make this new way of making a connection, you're ready to make it, and you can feel it. You will. But I said to every parent that I recommend that you feel this passion to do that with every cell of your body. This is how I was feeling. You need to make a kind of commitment that you will take your time, because it is important that you take every day about 20 minutes per day time to make this connection. Because, for example, if you make a commitment, okay, yes, dear soul, I will make a connection with you every day. But then someday you're gone. You're not making connection anymore. Imagine this would be like when about 20 years ago, when there were no cellular phone and you would have an appointment with somebody in the city and he wouldn't appear and you didn't have a phone to call him, anything. You were just there waiting. Where is he? Where is he? So this is what I recommend to every parent, that you should really make a commitment to take every day time to make this sweet connection. And like I said, this is not just the connection with your baby, it's also the connection with you, with your soul, and that it will stay also when the baby is born. You will continue to have this connection with yourself as well, this trust who will develop. And this is the experience that really totally changed my life. And now I'm so passionate about this that I would like to everybody who is ready to make this new step into the labor, pregnancy, conception, that I can show you how, I can guide you, but you will have to do the main work, the connection. I will guide you through the process. I will teach you, but the commitment needed to be made from your side. If there is any questions, please put it in the chat room and I will answer to them. And maybe if somebody who is listening now is not in the process that would like to have a baby, if you know somebody who would like to, I will be happy if you share it. Or maybe if somebody would like to make, is not in the process of having a baby, but if you would like to just make the connection with yourself, with your soul, I can teach you that as well. Because, this is, for me, the most important relationship that we're having with ourselves, with our divinity, with our soul. Because who is the person that you spend the most of your lifetime with? It's you. And also in this process, you will establish, if you will decide to work, to be like in this dream walk birth, like a totally new relationship with your body as well. Because it is obvious, of course, that the body is this tool which make us possibility to have this experience to be a parent. But you know, if you would like to have a healthy baby and you would like to be healthy, you need to make a different connection with your body as well. You know, it's not obvious. Yes, just give me health and everything, and I can do as I did till now. And you will also get some recommendations how to establish a new relationship with your body as well. And for example, I was teaching Isa from the early ages as well that her body can heal by herself, that she should talk to her body. And someday, she was about 3 years old, she came in the morning in my living room and said, "Oh, Mom, you know what? I had a pain in my ear during the night." And I just said, "Oh, dear ear, dear body, heal itself, please." And then the pain has gone. And now it doesn't hurt me anymore. So this is, I was so happy and proud on her, because for her, it is also normal that her body can heal by herself, you know, and now she's teaching also her friends how to communicate with her body, that it can heal by itself. So you are here, if you go into this process, also to be the reminder for these children that they can easily remember who they are, you know, because at the moment when the soul comes in, we forget who we truly are. And, you know, somebody spent a lot of time in this lifetime to start to remember who they are. But imagine having parents who will encourage this little baby, this little soul, who he really is. And that she has all the wisdom, all the knowingness within herself. You know, before we came to the earth, it is for everybody, we gave ourselves all the answers on all the questions that we will ever ask ourselves. So it is just if we can hear, if we can allow these questions to come from outside. And I fortunately discovered that more than 20 years ago, that everything is within me. And from then on, I'm searching the answers within me, not any longer outside. Yes, this was my a little short story. A lot of was going on in this period. I was writing a diary, so I had lots of memories, and I'm really so grateful that I made this choice, this connection with the baby, and that I can share it to everybody who is ready. So if you would like to have more information, you can contact me. I already put in the chat room also my webpage, magicbread.net, where you can have my contacts and have some more informations. And I would like to thank each and every one of you who are here live with me today, or anybody who is watching this later on. And I wish you a magic day. Love you. Bye.